now. That this process continues to happen over and over. And the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets, okay? Go ahead,
therefore, if so be that you will subdue your own understanding.
Humble down to what you were taught or what you believe in your own mind, and let the words of the Most High be true, and every other man a liar. Go ahead, Art.
And reform your hearts.
Change the way your mind and reform it back to righteousness. Well, how do you know how to do that? Through the words of the Most High, through the Bible, the proper understanding. Go ahead.
Ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy.
And after death shall you obtain mercy.
Well, how you going to obtain mercy after death? That's what a carnal person would think. He's dead.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
Yeah, he's saying in the book of Job that even the wicked, after when they die, they're at peace. All right. So when you go into the spiritual realm with the Heavenly Father, every spirit is at peace.
Let me get a pre real quick before you finish that.
You have one more verse, don't you?
Oh. Yeah, one more verse.
Okay, good.
For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again.
Because after death shall the judgment come, where you shall live again.
And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
Go to 7 and 56. Read your precept.
This Sirach, I'm Salakia, Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. So,
that's why it was good.
Yeah. But you know, the spirit goes back up to the Heavenly Father. You know, you don't just ride in the ground 6 feet under and that's it.
Go back to that 34 Because I didn't realize that's what he was about to read. So basically when the spirit goes to the Most High and your body goes back to the earth, back to the dust, your flesh, you become reincarnated, and that flesh is born through process of childbearing, man and woman having sex, bringing forth a child or whatever, and then the spirit goes back into that flesh. Okay, that's the process that happens where you will live out your judgment. We're going to have to read it again.
2 Ezra 14 and 35, for after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again.
Yep, well the judgment come where you shall live again. That's why people come back and got all these crazy conditions and different judgments that they,
ailments.
Yeah, got ailments and certain retarded was I'm gonna say Siamese twins and down all types of judgments.
Siamese twins.
All types of things that you gotta live with now because.
Hey, how can you get the scripture of Yahweh shine the blind man, the disciple?
Oh yeah, Khan.
Oh yeah, Khan. Who sinned?
Yeah, exactly.
Him?
Is that Luke?
Is it
Luke?
John?
When they say it's
who sinned? Me or his father?
John chapter
9.
Here it is, John 9 and 1. And Yahweh passed by, he saw a man which was blind from birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin?
Blind from birth, man. That's a curse, man.
That's judgment from a previous from his past, from a previous life. Him coming back in the flesh now, or in this time. This man or his parents, that he was born blind. Yahweh answered, neither have this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High should be made manifest in him.
That's right. So this man, when he was living in his previous life, he was a demon, man. So the Lord, he gets you in your next life, man. Exodus 20 and 5.
That's what we come back every three
or four generations. It said
that hate me.
Yeah. Let me get it real quick. Don't want to misquote it.
Like when they say it's generation, or not generational, it's genetics. It's genetics that we have heart murmurs or diabetes or whatever.
That's actually kind of true in a different sense. Yeah, it is because
spiritual.
You got a long line of wicked ass family members teaching you wickedness.
Things that are hereditary, kind of like.
Because we're gonna have to break all of that to come to kingdom.
Yeah, Yeah.
Because these curses have been on us since the Most High. Since we every time we went against the Heavenly Father, we were cursed heavily and more and more, to the point now we just live with these curses, and it seems like a normal thing for the so-called Negro, Latino, Native
No,
American.
we shouldn't. We shouldn't be dealing with these elements, and that's just Jake making an excuse. Well, your mama had it, and no, we're cursed people. We went off and didn't follow the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shem Shah. So that's where we're stuck in the conditions that we're in. You got that, bro? And that's why we come back. When we come back in through reincarnation, we're still under the curses.
We're born into these.
Yeah.
Exodus 20 and 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy power, am a jealous power, visiting, which means punishing, the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Yeah, so you come back as a hater every 3-4 generations, you're going to continue punishing you every 3 or 4 generations, or however many generations it would take you to come back.
Yeah, when you go to go to a doctor or something like that, they give you a form that you got to fill out. They say any history of any family history of diabetes, heart pressure,
And you see the family that skips generations on certain things too. Yeah. It might have been the good people that don't deserve that curse. I didn't mean to cut you off. What you was about to say?
No, go ahead.
You were saying something about
it's the family history of ailments.
Certain ailments,
Because my father, he has eczema and I have eczema. So it's passed down.
Skin irritation.
Second Esdras 14 and 35. For after death shall the judgment come.
After your spirit goes to the Heavenly Father and your flesh goes into the dirt, then the spirit goes back to the Heavenly Father. Okay. It says,
for when we shall live again,
we're gonna have an opportunity to live again. We're gonna put back down on earth in the flesh. Well,
and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest. And the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
Yeah, then we're gonna know who's who.
Yeah,
because we're gonna see how they judgment plays out in this life.
Yeah, who's calling out the works of the ungodly, man? The righteous, man. That's why the righteous gonna be manifest, man. Because they calling out the wicked deeds of these people.
That's right. Did you hold that for me in 7 and 56? It's another incarnation. I want the brother to bring that up. But he had bring both of those out.
About judgment. Judgment is through the reincarnation. You come back, and judgment. This is where you are. The Heavenly Father judges.
Yeah. Whether it could be a good judgment, or it could be a bad judgment.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. That which had been is now, and that which is to be, and that which is to be hath already been. And Yahweh require that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. What's that place under the sun? That's the earth, man.
Yeah, we was talking about the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire. America is the modern Roman Empire. They just call it by different names. Different, Jesus Christ. It was
like the heathens got their gods, Zeus, Jupiter, Isis, Semiramis, Saturn. Those were the heathens. They regenerate or reincarnate their gods, their idols.
And their philosophy.
Semiramis.
Yeah, Semiramis.
Isis.
I got something to back up what you. Genesis chapter 6 verse 5. It says, "And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Most High repented, and it repented the Most High that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. And that the Lord Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them." Because under the whole heaven, there was only iniquity, and what was the other thing it said? And wickedness.
Conduct wickedness.
So when you come down here and you come out and play out that, now, if you can go to 7 and 56, Baba Kushar.
What,
Second
Esdras?
Esdras. Either he grab it or whoever goes. If you had it.
Second Esdras 7:56, and it reads, "For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death."
We didn't think that we would. How do you suffer for something after death?
Right.
Because you put back in the flesh to play out the judgment of it. Okay? And now if you've been wicked, which until these statutes, laws, and commandments are put into us perfectly in the second covenant, we've all been full of iniquity and wickedness. Okay? That's why that's not the standard of what the elect will be judged off of. The faith and the works will be what we're judged off of. Okay? Continue.
Verse 57, "Then answered he me and said, This is the condition of the battle. Which,
This is the condition of the battle. No, go ahead and read it. I'm going to let you read it first.
which man that is born upon the earth shall fight."
When you're born, you're put back in, your spirit is put back into a flesh, and you're born. Get Wisdom of Solomon 7
Kind.
at the top. I believe it is. Hold that, Mike.
Born to fight. Hey, when you're born, man, your body fights against you, man.
Yeah.
Kind.
You know, that's why you got white blood cells.
Yeah.
Red blood
You know,
cells.
Yeah.
that's why you got blood cells that attack the different pathogens, bacteria, viruses inside your body.
Part of your immune system.
Yep.
Just fighting, man.
I think Joe was talking about that, right?
Hey, that's the- I
Man's
told-
that's what
yeah, I
you're
told Brother Graham.
And man's always against odds, at war with himself. At war with his your spirit is always at war with your flesh. And you that let your flesh get the victory, man, you the ones that's died. Like the guy out there at Jersey City. That was a carnal man that lost the battle of spirit versus flesh. If that was even a true Israelite, you know?
He was Jake, but
Or,
he wasn't.
or,
you know
or
what I'm
even,
saying? I'm talking about if you
or
really
even
believe.
if that was a true story.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying.
You know, that was all actors.
It look real fake.
They
You
probably
gotta
just
keep reading, though.
put that
This-
nigga face
this
up
is it.
out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, Salaki, yeah.
It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and 1. "I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth.
Adam.
In my mother's womb was I fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months.
Breaking down the full birth situation of how a man upon earth after Adam was born upon the earth. Go ahead.
Being compacted in blood of the seed of man and the pleasure that came with sleep. And when I was born, I drew in the common air. I fell upon the earth, which is of like nature, and the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do.
Yep.
I was-
Everybody's entrance to the life comes like that now. Okay.
It can't, cause it's really, birth is really bitter, you know.
Yeah.
Like I believe I forgot who said it, but they said when a baby is born, you should cry, and when someone leaves the earth, you know, you should rejoice at that moment, you know. Cause like the brother said, that's when the battle between the flesh and the spirit,
is
you know,
over.
when they start warring.
Yeah.
That's why Prophet Job said, why wasn't I born a stillborn, man?
We gonna get that. Let's wait. We gonna get that. 'Cause that goes right in. But I want to get more meat off that.
Kind.
But you right on point with that. Continue
Which of
that.
like nature, and the first voice
You gonna read
which
that
I
next.
uttered was crying, as all others do. I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that with cares,
Yep.
for there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. For all men have one entrance into life, and the like going out.
There's only one entrance to a woman
Come
through the
on.
vagina or C-section
right
in these times of a woman from the seed of a man being incubated inside that woman.
Kind.
Okay, after insemination.
That's
you know,
right.
all of that has to happen the same way. But the Most High still has to send that spirit into that flesh, and that's what Job was talking about.
Right.
Wait, there's a little more. Let me see.
This is wherefore I prayed, and wisdom, understanding was given me. I
Read
called
it
it
in verse 7.
7. I read 6.
I think that's it. Let me see. Yeah, that was it. That was the point. What?
I had
Now
another-
Job,
Go ahead.
Job is talking about being stillborn, meaning why did my spirit have to come down and actually go into that flesh? How come he didn't just have that body made, but he keep my flesh? That's pretty much what happens when something's stillborn. The spirit never went into that flesh to activate it.
Yep, kind of, brother.
Want me to start from the top?
Yeah, I think that top is good. You know where to jump down at?
To like verse 10 and 11.
Yeah, after you read the first couple verses, blah, blah, blah.
Job chapter 3, verse 1. After this, opened Job his mouth and cursed his day.
Curse his birthday.
It's total. And you look at the world, man. These people celebrate their birthdays, their kids' birthdays. It's crazy.
I get a gift, which is destroying your mind, because it makes you forget about all the ills that you're going through.
Yeah.
You know, because you just got a gift.
Gift destroy the heart.
Exactly right. Yep, exactly right. Yeah.
And Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born,
Yep.
and the night in which it was said, there is a man-child conceived.
Hey, and that was a blessing when a man-child was born. But you want to curse that day when another man-child was born, an Israelite man-child? Yeah, because it's bitter. Life upon earth is just iniquity and wickedness and death continually.
Like America.
Curses after curses.
Bitter.
This is the perfect example, man. America.
Oh, yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Yeah. America means bitter.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 4, let their day be darkness. Let not Yahweh regard it from above.
Uh-huh.
Neither let the light shine upon it. Con.
Yeah. Hold that right quick.
Let me get some.
Deuteronomy 28, and I'm gonna have you grab 20, but then I want you to jump over to 41. I'm looking around as another one.
I'll start here. It's Deuteronomy 28 and 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursings, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do until thou be destroyed and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings whereby thou hast forsaken me. So everything that we put our hands to, everything that we try to do, every time we try to prosper, the Most High is gonna destroy it ultimately. You know, and anything that we try to prosper in, at the end we may prosper a little bit, but at the end of it, the Most High is going to destroy it. It's going to destroy it. We can't prosper here. That's part of the curses. All right, us being born in the society, us, you know, we're not in, you know, only time there was peace was 40 years with King Solomon in the garden. That's it. Throughout the whole existence of the world. And ever since then, our people have been catching hell. All right? We from what, verse 15?
We caught hell before that.
Yeah. From verse 15 all the way to 68. Yeah.
Go to 41 right quick.
Genesis 28 and 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
You gonna, and that's just a generational curse, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Whether it was our parents, or our great grandparents, down to our grandparents, down to our parents, down to us, down to our children. The cycle continues to continue of birthing children that are born into these curses.
You can't enjoy your children, and especially in this society. Your kids go to these wicked schools. You see your kids be in school more time than they be with you.
Yeah.
The only time you get to see your children is on the weekend. You know, and that's probably cut short.
Yeah.
So you have, like I said, you take what it says. I'm gonna read it again.
Yeah.
Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, and thou shalt not enjoy them. You can't even enjoy your children.
Yeah.
You can't teach them things because Esau is now teaching them things.
Yeah. You teach them something about being not to don't follow pagan religion or holidays and nothing like that. But the school reinforces it right under your nose.
You're playing tug of war with the government over your children.
Yeah. And then you're demonized if they're not in that mix or that herd of wicked people. If you're trying to pull them out of that. Read the rest of that verse.
But thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
They're born into captivity.
Yeah.
You can't enjoy it because they're born into captivity. Go to 63. They're born right into captivity. So they're born, and how is that possible? Because you're born with a social security number, a birth certificate, all these things stamp you, especially to live in a land like America. All these things stamp you into labor and work and trouble, and if you don't work hard enough, you don't get to eat.
Vaccinations and the whole 9 yards.
That are mandatory at the water.
And then once you get older, you got to get a ID.
Yeah, you gotta get ID.
Whether you got a driver's license or not.
Yeah, you gotta have. They gotta know who are you. But see, that's why Esau wants to take that out the system, and at birth put that right in your children, and you live with that the whole life.
And they're doing it. Because they'll ask you now. They'll be generous enough to ask you. Now they're just doing it. They're gonna chip you, and whether the parents know or not.
Yep. And there's cases of that already coming out.
Because, Because I did a lesson on it. I think it's in Canada where they were saying people were stealing babies out of hospitals or something like that, just to push that agenda, to push the narrative that we need this. This is something you need. Don't you want to be secure?
Hire another nanny to watch the babies.
Yeah, what they do, they go to the woman first.
Oh, yeah. Like they do with the vaccines. Yeah. Oh, so do you want this, and this shot? No, we don't want none of that shit. Yeah, I'm asking her.
Like the serpent in the garden.
Went to the woman.
Yeah, went to the woman.
Wicked vessel.
Verse 63. Deuteronomy 28:63, and it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good.
Yeah, that was the original estate of why He gave us these statutes, laws, and commandments, so He can give us this wisdom to live righteously on the earth, and He rejoiced over us that we would do good upon these statutes, laws, and commandments. The problem is, we couldn't keep it. We didn't keep it. We couldn't keep it. But so now our children are born into what it's about to say now.
And to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you.
Now He's going to rejoice over you to destroy you.
And
because He sees that there's nothing but evil coming from you. Isaiah 3. That's Isaiah 1. Just hold it.
And to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it.
So we went from having the best land on the planet to the worst lands on the planet.
Yeah.
He plucked us, He destroyed us with curse after curse, plucked us even out of the most righteous and perfect land until we're down into the ghettos and the barrios and the res and all these other places now. And they're under captors here, the worst captors ever, and oppressors here in America.
I'll say the people on the res literally live on the worst part of the land.
Literally. They don't even let the ghetto regular people live on there because it's reserved for them.
Yep.
And I thought about this. Esau was hoping that these people would build that land back up, that He'd take that from them after they completed something else. They're like, man, we've been running this game back and forth. We ain't doing that. Plus, you ain't feed us with shit. You feed us with some BS. Let us live the way it's supposed to be, with the proper seeds and nourish the earth the way it's supposed to, land Sabbaths and everything else. Right. Because Esau knows if he gives us that, what'll happen? We're going to build our strength up and come in front against this devil. I want you to keep reading that.
Okay. Verse 64.
Yep.
And the
so
Lord
he plucked us up out the land, and then He's going to do what?
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Then He scattered us all over where we don't even know who we are no more.
Yeah.
So our identity is gone. Wait, where's that at? You said discontinue from thine heritage?
Jeremiah 17:4.
17:4. Why show somebody got it? Not you. If you can grab it or we go out there, I got it holding something.
Right? You want to say one?
Yep.
Where?
3. Just hold on to it.
It's Jeremiah 17:4.
Yep.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. And that's going back to the one we just read, where the Lord said, the devourers.
He will pluck us out the land, and we don't know who we are no more. We don't know where it is.
We kindled that fire.
And then
they said, and the Lord will rejoice over, this is back in Deuteronomy 28:63, rejoice over you to destroy you.
Yeah.
And hey, that's
the fire.
Yeah.
He's rejoicing now to punish us for not keeping the commandments. You know, to destroy us. All the way till he placed us even up out the land. We discontinue from our heritage because we're mingled among the other heathens. Now we to the point that we even have we may look like the heathen even though we're still Israelites, but we're keeping the customs of the heathen. To where our own heritage and customs are not being followed no more. Let the name of Israel be no more in remembrance.
We're taking on the customs of the heathens.
Yep.
You know, wherever we dwell. All right, it's Jakes all over the planet, but they're Jakes that's indulging in Buddhism. It's Jakes that's in following after Kemen and you know the Egyptology, all these you know Islam. You know, that's Jakes is heavy in that because we're scattered, but we think since we grew up amongst those people, we're around those people, we think that we're all those people. But no, you Israelites that have the spirit of an Israelite living amongst these heathens are Israelites. You're not Ishmaelites or Arabs or Moabites. Yeah,
you can just keep naming all the
you can
other
name all the nations, all the 17 other nations.
Yep.
You're Israelites. All right, back to the verse in 28:64.
Yep.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even to the other, and thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Even useless things on the earth, like wood and stone that have no life in
Have no life. That people can put up and exalt the cobblestone, the crucifix.
Yep.
You know, all these are just
idols that's made with wood and stone,
Yeah.
sculpted into these other gods. The cycle continues to happen over and over and over, and our people are fall headlong into it.
Yeah.
And the Heavenly Father is furious with it. But it's coming to the point that we're about to wake up out of it through the elect, but the 2/3 are they just keep digging deeper and deeper into that BS. You know what I'm saying?
Isis disguised as the Virgin Mary.
Yeah. But even the Lord himself told us don't worship Mary. He said,
People are stupid.
in Luke, I think it was the 11th chapter, he said,
woman.
rose up.
Yeah,
he spoke something great.
He said, blessed is the paps,
That
blessed is the moon,
The paps that
born you.
Yeah.
Rather,
rather.
blessed is he who hear the word and keep it.
Yeah.
You know?
Do the will of the Most High.
Yeah.
He shut that shit down real quick.
Yeah. And that's his own mama.
Yeah.
But you, Jace, can't get over your mama. Your mama tell you something. No, the woman was saying, blessed is the woman.
Oh,
yeah.
Constantly.
That wasn't his mother.
They was worshiping the woman back in the Roman Empire.
Right. He said, no, don't give her credit for that. Blessed is him that here, you know, she did what she was supposed to do.
Hear the word of the Lord and keep it.
She didn't do nothing special. Special is the word of the, put the emphasis back on the word of the Lord. There's more on there. You have something to go right now?
I was holding this for a minute.
Go with that.
If you want to finish that.
Yeah, finish that. That's what I was.
This is the next verse, 65. So we keep going.
Yeah, keep going. All the way to 67.
And among the nations thou shalt find no ease. Neither shall.
This is what you're born into.
Yeah.
You're born into finding no ease. Things don't come easy for you. Okay?
No.
So when you're born on earth, you're pissed. Yeah. Like you ever see them babies that's born with a fucking
with
mean
a caption on it, like damn it.
Man. It's like they spirit knows. I just came from glory and I gotta come down to this shit, man. Fuck. The babies had that look. I just seen a meme that had that on.
I seen those memes.
And among the nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall thy soul of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee.
Yeah, you come to earth, and you gotta work. You can't chill at all. No. You don't get to enjoy nothing.
No days
you just
off.
No days. You just get to come here and get oppressed continually. Go ahead.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
Hey, then you got fear and all of that going on here, and that was one of the curses that was up above, I think like 22 or something like that. It'll give you what did it say? Astonishment of heart and so on and so forth.
Smite you with madness.
Let you drive in and shit, and the law get behind
There you go.
Fuck, man.
You ain't did shit wrong, bro.
Telling you, man.
You ain't did shit wrong.
Switch lanes.
Yeah,
Switch
like-
over lanes.
You're thinking like, man, should I switch? Like, you can't even fucking concentrate,
I
bro.
just go straight.
Music get turned
I
down.
just go straight.
No, it's
I guess you gotta make it right, bro.
Bro, I missed it. I come back. When he turn out, then I go back.
I set my car in whatever the speed limit is, cruise control at that fucking that speed limit. Like, look, man, I was in cruise control. You can't say I was saying shit.
It's illegal to look, but still, it's illegal to use cruise control on the streets. Like, oh shit! You can only use it on the highway. Like, they'll find a reason to oppress you in this society. You're born into that. When you have children upon the earth in the condition it is now, with the wicked man ruling the earth, that's what you're born into. It's just continually fucked up for you every day.
just oppression.
Yep.
Oppression.
Time
That's
after
what you're
time,
born
oppression.
into. Oppression.
Yep. Go ahead.
Trembling of heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind.
Yep. Sorry, your mind can't be easy at your mind.
Yeah,
you're always worried about shit. Your eyes can't.
You're always
see
thinking
what's
about
good.
something you got to do. You have no peace of mind here. You're worried about what's your woman doing, what your kids doing. You got this bill to pay. You can't rest.
Bro, I work graveyard shift, man. I get 2 to 4 hours of sleep average.
Terrible.
The majority of sleep I get is on my days off. That's 2 days off.
So you really ain't got no days off because you sleep in the majority of the time.
Exactly.
There's no rest in this place.
It's rejuvenating.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
Hanging down before you. You got Jakes in the ghettos, they shooting up each other over a color, man.
Yeah. Over a block, a street.
Block of streets. That belongs to the white man. A street that belongs to Esau.
Street with Esau's name on it.
Like Compton. That's a white man.
And thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have no assurance of thy life.
No assurance. Hey, think about it. You don't have assurance. Not even the fact that you don't know if you're gonna eat. You can be killed at any moment. You could be going to work and get killed randomly. Going to feed your family, and I'm talking about whether you're going out to the jungle to hunt or whatever, you can be killed. There's no assurance of that life. The beautiful thing is the Most High is gonna set it up to where we don't ever have to worry about none of that. We're not gonna have a care in the world as far as trouble. Not at all in the kingdom of heaven. That's what we're out here fighting for. To be the elite of a world that's like that.
Yeah.
He just read it.
He said stop at 67? I mean 76?
67.
No, 70. No, 67. I'm saying 76. Yeah, okay. Let me read 67 in that. You get it. In the morning thou shalt say, with the Most High, it were even.
In the morning you're gonna wish it was night, and it's gonna say in the night you're gonna wish it was morning. Go
and
ahead.
at even thou shalt say, with the Most High, were it morning.
Damn, I wish you would make it morning. Cause look, you wake up in the morning. Damn, I gotta deal with all this shit today. I wish it was night and the shit was over. Then at night, it get to night, you get through all of that. But damn, I gotta go to sleep. I'm gonna have nightmares and dreams, and I gotta wake up to another day. Oh man, you just never are gonna be at ease in anything you do in this society. And when we're born, sent back to serve the judgment, to serve the punishment back on the earth, it says suffer for it after death, we got to deal with this every day.
Yeah.
This is the life we live.
Why? Because the wicked is bearing rule.
Yep.
Acquainted with grief. It's this life. Because the wicked is in rule.
For the fear of thy heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thy eye which thou shalt see.
And we see Jake getting plucked off, and that just puts Jake, we see our people getting plucked off, running away from the scene. They don't try to chase you down and kill you. They just shoot to kill. They don't wound you. They shoot to kill. They see just every turn, just something bad happen to our people, and that puts the rest of our people in line with the oppressor, man.
Well, I think of my son, and I'm thinking like, damn, he's happy now, because I'm thinking not captivity, yeah, well, he took his captivity, but where he came from, his last reincarnation on the earth, that plantation was probably fucked up compared to what he in now, but it's more wicked now.
Yep.
So it's like it's gonna get worse. And you know, I'm just thinking like, damn.
And I think I'm gonna bring up my son also. My son has a condition, right? So damn, what did you do in your past life to come to be born with this condition? Like this is the terrible ass life that we have to deal with. But when we get these new bodies and in the kingdom of heaven and all of that, we're gonna rejoice every day, man. We're gonna wake up singing praise to Yahweh.
Everlasting joy, man.
We're gonna get praise to Yahweh Shemel Shai. We're gonna worship Yahweh Shemel Shai every day in the kingdom, man.
All right.
Rest.
You got it, huh?
Ecclesiastes 4 and 1.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Hey, but let's talk about oppression.
Yeah, right, it goes, yep.
4:1, Ecclesiastes. So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun.
So like it was 16 we read.
Yeah.
So okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the earth, under the sun, and behold the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comfort.
That was us, and that was a messed up situation because most of our people, and Malachi 1, was that what you was holding in Malachi? Or you was holding something else in Malachi?
Yeah, he's holding Malachi.
When he was saying that, wherein has thou loved us?
God.
Because we don't see that the Heavenly Father sent us nothing. Because to those that think that way, they didn't get sent the Spirit. They didn't get sent the Comforter to be able to break this down. They weren't given faith or grace or woken up out of this thing. They're sitting there just seeing that this is just the way life is. I'm just oppressed all the time. It's just the way life's supposed to be. They don't even consider the oppression that we get something wrong with that. Go ahead, bro.
And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive.
Because why? Because those that are alive got to deal with all the bullshit we've been reading about.
Did you read Job 4 yet? I mean,
3.
3? You read that?
Yeah, we were on Job 3.
We jumped down already too, didn't we?
No.
We
don't get it. Yeah, we don't get it. And that's the thing. We got to deal with this terrible. We got a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of things that we got to deal with every day. Just being alive, but when you're in the spirit world, you ain't gotta worry about your stomach growling, you ain't gotta worry about your knee and back pains, nothing.
Payments,
Tired,
rent.
no such payments, none of that.
Fuck, man.
That's the life. But see, the Most High is as in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven. So that's what we're trying to get to.
What's that?
It's gonna be that good for us on earth as it is in heaven.
1 Corinthians 15.
Right.
Where
death.
the children of the eye, we're going to be transformed. We're going to have the glory of the spiritual realm and on the flesh.
Kind of new body.
And the new bodies, yeah.
Verse 3, better is he than both they which have not yet been, who have not seen the evil work that is done under the sun.
Yep. I'm sorry, I missed what it said. What an evil work that's done under the sun?
Yeah, better is he than both they which hath not yet been, who hath not seen the evil work that is done under the sun.
Yeah, if you ain't been on the earth, man, you doing good. Because you ain't have to deal with all the wickedness and vexation. Like Lot, he lived in a wicked ass, like shit, us here in Vegas.
Come.
We get to see evil continually here. Hey, yeah, it's wonderful that you can go get a drink, you're oppressed, you can go get a drink any time of the night, but what does that mean for people that's unresponsible? That means there's gonna be there's always a slew of drunk drivers doing shit.
At the same time, is you might not be able to get a drink because you don't want to work. You got to work in the morning. Or if you get pulled over and you straight, you can drive. Esau may give you a DUI and that ruin your life.
Hey, kind of like something that's with us being in Vegas, hey, we don't have to. Since Vegas is open 24/7, man. Brothers' work schedules are conflicting here, because everything is open. You like the brother can say you got to work a graveyard shift. That don't happen everywhere,
Yeah, certain cities shut down.
Yeah, exactly. This is a 24-hour city, so it's like we don't get to spend time with brothers like we want to. We can't fellowship. That's part of the curses. It's like, man, we like the fellowship, we like to be around brothers, but we really could do it when we can.
Yeah.
You know, it's not an option where, you know, and you know, it's just fucked up here, man. And I don't see how any of you jakes out there that want to continue to dwell here and live here find any peace. You'll never find peace here in America. You never have peace of mind. Or it will always be a cursed people as long as Esau, Edom is ruling. You know, what it says, we just quoted it earlier, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, the people are mourning.
Yep.
You know, we've been in a more
name a Jake that wake up like, yeah, I'm going to work today. I don't know one that just loves to go to work for somebody else to make them money.
Even if you're working from home.
Yeah, you work at home, you still.
Even if you own your own business, you like, damn, you know, when you own your own business, you gotta be more really on it than someone going to work for somebody else, because that's your livelihood. If you don't do it, you ain't gonna eat.
Yep.
You know?
Now you're paying more in taxes.
Yeah.
Oh man, you own your own business, bro.
Oh, we were just talking about that shit. Like,
headache, man.
It's like
families depend on you.
You can work 80 hours in a week, and Esau gonna take damn near 15% of your money. You know, and they give you all this shit like 401ks to make you think like you know, you can get it led. You know, fuck all that, man. You still trapped in this system, in this society, in this under the curses, man. You ain't not gonna prosper here in America.
I got something. You got it.
Go, you got something. Go.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 7. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name.
And I had the brother start with this instead of jumping right to 8, because the fear, we're looking at everything. Like when I came into the truth, quick testimony, when I came into the truth, I started seeing the agenda of this damn devil. I was like, oh shit, how am I gonna stop this, man? How am I gonna survive this? Me and my family, how am I gonna have a chance? Not long after that, the truth came. Okay? And I was just into like Illuminati videos and all this type of stuff.
I was the same way.
Like this man,
and then when you hear the word, you know, and you hear the word and you hear the brothers preaching the word, and they putting everything together with the Illuminati videos and the left hand energy, the elites and all that shit. Everything starts to click. Ultimately we were quickened with the spirit. Yep. So
the big picture is now coming into focus, and we can see how this makes sense. But that same fear is what made us have to turn and come out here. Because fear is why we're out here teaching this word. Okay, that fear is the same reason why we're out here trying to earn our salvation. We're scared if we don't.
And put it like this:
how bad it'll be.
We don't fear Esau. We fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Thank you.
You know, because you say fear because we're out here. No, we don't fear Esau. We don't fear nothing you can do to our bodies. The toxins, the poisons you put in our food. Yep. We don't fear that.
We fear that the Most High could punish us through this devil, punish us through the missiles, punish us through famine or whatever else. That we don't have an answer to none of this, because we understand that he's who makes all this happen.
Let me get this real quick. This is 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Most High have not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of sound mind.
Yep. He grounded us with a sound mind, and not to have fear. Not for things on the earth, but we do have fear for Yahweh though. Okay, and what he could do to us. Okay, if we don't preach this gospel. Okay, go back to that, like you said.
Verse 7. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name.
Yep.
And praise thee.
But for all the scourges, they would not hear. What it said in 2 Timothy 16, famine, the list of
scourges of mimics.
For scourges of mimics.
Yeah.
Grab it right quick. Trying to show you, trying to let the scriptures speak. And this is a good way to deal with this devil, man. So he can't slander you and catch you and trap you with your words. Make him entrap you with the words of the book.
That's right.
And that's what's about to happen. You're about to have to try to take these books out.
It's
16 and 17.
It's okay.
Or 18 or somewhere right around.
Yeah, I'll start at 17. It's 2nd Ezra 16, verse 17. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine.
It's like the brother read earlier about there not being a comforter for us. You know, but he did send a comforter for us. It just wasn't given unto you. Well,
beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendments.
Read the next line.
But for these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
But our people still not going to hear it. But the electors don't hear it. Those that are called are going to hear it.
The scourges are those corrections.
Yep.
Like, yo, I'm doing this to you, I'm fucking you up so you can get right.
And you're supposed to realize he's jacking us up like that, so we have fear to call upon his name.
Exactly.
It brings us right back to that verse.
Yep.
Start at the top of that.
Yeah, like the brother said, like you discipline a child.
Yep.
Like, look, I'm gonna whoop your ass now, but I don't want to have to whoop you no more. But if you continue to fuck up, hey, more punishment's coming, more ass whoopings is coming, and that's what the Heavenly Father's doing right now. All right, and that ultimate ass whooping is them thermonuclear fires and that concentrated fire from them chariots. That's the ultimate. That's the ass whooping that you ain't gonna never forget.
You know the messed up part? I thought about this. The missiles coming after the famine, after you starve half to
the
death.
missiles are just here to cleanse the land,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much. Just to cleanse it all, you know?
But you're gonna get the man.
Yeah, you gonna
if you make it
wicked
through
ass
every-
Israelites.
If you make it through all that and then you get the missile, boy,
you've been through some shit.
The Lord had it for you.
The Lord had it for you because in the back of your mind, when you're thinking like, oh man, the Lord's dealing with me. I'm making it. I made it through famine and this, you know, and the Lord's building you up to ultimately destroy you 2/3 niggas, man. It's gonna be righteous. It's gonna be beautiful.
It's a scary thing, man. Well,
And for this cause, thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name,
continue.
and praise thee in our captivity.
And to praise you in our captivity, even though we're in a bad situation, we rejoice that we be partakers of your sufferings, okay, of the sufferings of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, okay. So we can be with exceeding. Matter of fact, somebody get that in that Peter, 1 Peter 4, and started 12. Hold that, let him finish this stuff. Don't worry about that. Keep going.
For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We're still in captivity. Y'all ain't free. They call America the land of the free. You're not free.
You can't even go to another country without paperwork.
You can't go to a bar. Yeah. You can be 60 years old with gray hair. You can't go in there without ID if they don't know you. Like, it's that bad. But you can go to war at 18 though. But you can't have a drink in that same bar without ID
Bro,
at 21.
Esau pull you over, he want everyone in the car's ID.
Yeah, he want everybody. I wasn't even driving. I told somebody that. My best friend was pissed. He got pulled over. I was like, let me see your IDs. I said, is there a problem? I'm just a passenger. What do I need to show you my ID for? I'm just riding. My best friend looked at me like, what are you doing? I was like, no, but I had it out, handed to him, but I'm like, you need to see mine, I'm just a passenger. But that just goes to show
you ain't free.
You ain't free. I just checked who was in the car. I'm like, why? I'm not a mass murderer, I'll tell you. I'll tell you who I am.
This is the land of the free, home of the slave.
They're free, right?
Go
for that.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
We were scattered here for a reproach and a curse. We were reading the curses about the scattering and all the bad things that was going to happen to us here and our children from Deuteronomy 28. Go ahead.
And to be subject to payments.
And to be subject to payments. The only way that we can survive on the earth is to go through these payments, to make these payments, to continually pay this man. Just to live for the base, we got to pay for water.
Hey, thou shalt go to your enemies for the want of all things.
Yep.
Everything, it's nothing free in this society. You can't grow your own food. You know, to start your own business, you got to go through Esau. You got to get a business license. You got to pay all type of fees for that. There's nothing free in here. You can't. To make money, you got to have money. You got to spend money.
Yep.
You know, you can't even, if you have a service you provide, you got to get a license for that. You have a talent, you got to go through Esau for that. All right, so you ain't free. You know, and you're not going to be free. The one that said us free, really, the elect is this truth. What does it says in John 8 and you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. We're free in our minds spiritually free, but we ultimately want to be free from these bonds from Esau, from America. You know, we want our nation to be free as a nation, their minds. You know. Who has something?
He's still rapping.
Okay.
So let him rap his thing.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to pay